As I'm sure many of you have heard the long-running TV show, I just want to point out the only real difference between this event and that television show is that the entrepreneurs here performing are of a considerably higher quality. I'm very excited they're able to share this with their families, their teachers, their classmates, and their friends because they've been working tirelessly these last few months on their projects. And by last few months, I mean the last week or two once they realized their parents were actually coming tonight. As for the format of the event, it'll be made up of 2 acts of 4 groups each. The groups will first pitch their idea, followed by a Q&A with the Sharks. The Sharks have been given a scoring notebook that's going to help them determine which group they believe is most worthy of their $25,000 investment. And in case you're wondering, those air quotes don't actually mean anything. They just add a little flair to my speech. At the end of the second act, the Sharks will deliberate backstage and determine which group they want to choose to present the first annual Shark Tank medal. Yeah. Based on that applause, it's pretty clear this is what they really want. So let's just call that $25,000 a figurative investment. I do ask that you please remain quiet while the groups are on stage, because as you can see from my performance here tonight, it's incredibly nerve-wracking performing in front of these Sharks and all of you. However, don't hesitate to reward each of them at the end of their turns with a huge round of applause because they're all going to do an excellent job here tonight. Make sure you pay attention though, because at the end of the night I'm going to put a QR code on the screen and it's going to prompt you to choose the group you think is most worthy of the coveted prize of Audience's Choice for Best Group. So yeah, that's the big one. All right? Don't worry, I'm not collecting your email addresses, so your students and children will not know that you didn't pick them. You're good. Don't worry. During the 10-minute intermission, which is going to come after the first 4 groups, if you could head down to the first floor lobby, there'll be snacks and refreshments. But please, make sure you eat and drink down there, because there's no food or drink allowed in the theater at any time. And lastly, before I start the show, I wanted to thank a few people who have made this event possible. Firstly, Mrs. Keller for allowing me to have this event here in the theater, and Mr. Sullivan for helping me throughout the process and lending me some of the amazing Sharks you'll see here tonight. I also want to thank Ms. Sacco, who's been super helpful at every step along the way, and she's been working extensively with students to make sure their pitches have gone exactly the way they were intended. Mr. M. Joyle and Mr. Svensson, who've been working behind the scenes and also set up all the lights and stage and everything else, and they've used their theater expertise to make this place look awesome. And lastly, a huge shout out to Mr. A. Joyle back there in the sound booth. He worked all night last night and all day today, making sure the sounds and lights are absolutely perfect, including giving me an excellent walkout song. I also want to thank the 11 students who helped volunteer tonight, the ones that were greeting you at the entrance, handing out handouts, and also seating you tonight. They gave up their Wednesday nights to help me with this thing, and I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you, the 11 of you. So this one's going to get excited. One more special shout out to senior Jackie Sweeney and her dad Michael for making the incredible Shark Tank notebooks that they're going to be scoring on tonight. You wouldn't believe how much work they put into it, and it was incredibly appreciated. So thank you, Jackie, and thank you, Jack, for everything. Lastly, and most importantly, I need to give a huge thank you to the 3 Sharks who so generously gave their time to help out with this event. So now, without further ado, I'm going to present to you your 3 Sharks. The first Shark is a Central Catholic graduate, and shortly after he graduated from Wheaton College, he started working at Silverio Insurance and has been the president and CEO for the last 17 years. Recently, he decided to venture out a little bit and start his own real estate company, Diverse Real Estate, both of which are located right here in Lawrence. I present to you your first Shark, Evan Silverio. The second Shark is the mother of Central Catholic sophomore and student volunteer Jack Mackey. I see you over there, Jack. And tennis superstar, I gotta add that too, who opened the dance studio D&E School of Dance in Chelmsford, Mass, has now been in business for 27 years. 7 years ago, her and her husband John started Mackey Company in downtown Andover on Main Street, which is a home furnishings company that has both residential and commercial clients. Our second shark, Lynn Mackey. And lastly, our final shark graciously stepped in with just a week and a half's notice. He is also a Central graduate who is the owner and managing principal of Trident Project Advantage Group, with recent projects including Tuscan Village in Salem, New Hampshire, as well as past projects including Gillette Stadium, MIT, Tufts University, and Logan Airport. So, that wasn't as good. But I'll present to you our last shark, Gino Baroni. And on that note, sit back and enjoy the show. Oh wait, our first group is EarFit. The group is going to start us off strong by forever changing the way you wear earbuds.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to listen to my music in peace.
Ryan, what's the problem?
My earbud keeps falling out.
Just get a grip.
Have you ever had the problem of your earbud constantly falling out? I know I have. Sharks, look no further. Introducing
EarFit.
a customizable ear grip designed for your ear to ensure comfort and reliability that your earbud won't fall out.
Our purpose for EarFit is to provide superior audio quality, comfort, and simplicity. Sharks, our product is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, go to our website, and then from there, you're gonna download the app and scan your ear. After that, all you have to do is submit it. We'll make the mold and ship it straight to you. Easy as that.
Items that resolve a similar issue start at $15 and go all the way to $200. They also have a several additional fee of going to an audiologist to get a custom mold and then shipping it out to the company. Our product does not do that and relies on an ear scan based on our app.
So Sharks, we will connect with our audience through launch parties, advertisement, and multiple vending machines in retail stores. We are committed to establishing an efficient relationship to guarantee satisfaction that every customer through collaborating one-on-one with client and teammate.
Our intention is to solve an issue that many people experience, earbuds that always fall out. We want to bring comfort and practicality to your everyday life.
Sharks, we also acknowledge that earbuds are expensive. So having them constantly fall out, we are aware that it's extremely frustrating, and when you lose them, it's even harder. Which is why we believe that you need to get a grip and choose EarFit. Thank you.
I think this is us, guys.
I think this is us.
You want to start?
I can start. Nice job, ladies.
Thank you.
Can we see it a little bit closer? Do you have?
We don't have a prototype, but basically the ear grip is, I could show you the AirPods. So we have this, you see the grip here? So we basically make the customizable grip so it could ensure that it stays a perfect fit. Because when I put on my AirPods, it doesn't fit properly. So we come in and we make an ear grip that fits for your ear specifically.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, I have to admit, I have that problem all the time. I don't know what's wrong with my ears. For a long time, I thought it was my ears. But apparently, thank you for confirming that they're not my ears. I just need to get your product to get a mold on my ears to ship me some stuff. So I appreciate it. Do you think that you guys would be going out for a patent for something like this? Or is something already exist on the market?
Yeah, so our patent, we would definitely go for that because it's for the ear scan right on your phone, so you don't have to go to the audiologist to get an impression from them, which can cost up to $150, and then also pay to ship it out to the company that will make the grip for your ear.
So you've developed the scanning technique on your phone, or is that in process right now?
It's in process right now.
So our $25,000 investment, if you win, what would you do? What do you think your expenses are going to be with that $25,000 to get your product launched?
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing will obviously be the 3D printer to make it. So that will cost around $800 to $1,000. After that, it's production materials, which includes the thermoplastic elastomer, which is going to be the product we're using, like for the silicone. Then we also have it for packaging. Then after that, we plan to have like a tangible vending machine to place in machines like stores, like malls. And the way that works is we have four vending machines. We have a card that you could choose the type of ear grip you want, whether you want black and white, neutral, even in bright colors. You purchase it, and on the back it has the instructions to get the scan, how to scan it, and a QR code for the app.
Have you thought about where you would manufacture this? Would it be here? Would you be trying to save some costs and go overseas?
Yeah, so we were gonna have an office here and actually 3D print it ourselves with like software that would go right into the 3D printer and start to base ourselves around here because we're thinking our target market is college kids, and with the dense college population in Boston, we thought that would be a good area to start out in.
So, is it just the app, or so you're doing manufacturing and the app
Correct.
together?
Yes.
Have you ever thought about separating it and just starting out with the app? And is that profitable?
We did think about it, but it would be way more expensive to have manufacturers do it for us. I think it's better if we do it ourselves with purchasing the 3D printer. We did look into it, and the cost is just too high for us.
I talk scalability. At some point, if this becomes successful, you're going to have to think of other than a 3D printer. Have you thought in the future, is it more the 3D printers, or is, as we say here, is it a third-party manufacturer?
Yeah, so definitely probably a manufacturer at that point, but since the cost for starting out was so much that it would be hard to get into that right off the bat.
And you're thinking for marketing, mostly you're thinking your age group, or?
So for the marketing, this product is for everyone. It's not just college kids, but we're also thinking for businessmen and women who are always constantly on calls. We're thinking children, iPad kids even. We're thinking
People who work out as well.
yeah.
Yep. And what have you talked to some friends at school and family members? Like, what's the feedback?
Yeah, so we sent out a survey and we've gotten over 200 responses on that from kids our age, from also faculty and staff, parents, friends, and family.
So it's all something that you're interested in. Yeah.
Mostly, yes.
Have you thought about costs in terms of marketing as well? And have you worked that into your budget?
Yeah, so with the prices that we already discussed, we would use the rest for marketing. So that would be around $6,000. So we plan to market obviously through social media. We could pay for advertisements. We also want to get in touch with influencers who will promote our product as well. We also want to get our name out, so go to networking events. We also want to throw a launch party to get us physically in the market.
Awesome.
I have a question. In any good startup or any good company, there's an organizational structure. Who is the COO? Who's the CEO? Who's the CFO of your group? Have you decided who's going to be responsible?
Yeah, so we, us as a group, we all have our strengths. So we kind of split up in four. So me personally, I do marketing. Annie, she does a lot of the research. Maddie here, she's good with numbers, amazing at math. And Gabby, she also does research and designing ideas, yes. So we all have our strength, and we all come together. We give each other feedback.
What do you feel like your toughest obstacles are going to be?
Probably getting our name out there to start out with, and having people realize you don't have to go out and get a ear mold and then send it off. You literally can do it right from your phone, scan your ear, and then it comes to your house.
I also think like the audio quality and making sure it doesn't mess up with like whatever the AirPods or Beats or Bose, whatever you use.
Great idea.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Our next group, iMechanic, is giving you a way to fix your car without any of the hassle.
Hey Mac, what's up?
Hey Evan, my car just made a really weird noise and I'm not sure I feel safe driving it to the shop.
Oh, that's crazy. Have you heard of iMechanic?
No, I haven't. What is that?
It's a mechanic that comes straight to your house.
Oh, I'll have to go try it out. Thanks for the recommendation. It's just said my mechanic Dave will be here in 10 minutes. Thank you, Dave. Hello, Sharks. We are iMechanic. I'm Mac.
I'm Evan.
I'm Robbie.
iMechanic is a revolutionary app that will bring the mechanic to your home to fix your car. Through the app, you can order a mechanic to do regular everyday services as well as detailing and fixes from the comfort of your couch.
Through extensive market research, we found that many car owners have very little knowledge about the needs and services of their car. Our product will eliminate the stress of having to remember these services and having to drive out to the mechanic shop.
With our product, customers wouldn't need to feel unsafe driving a car to a mechanic shop. We would come and fix it and make it running perfect. Our customers can order things such as oil changes and even tire rotations from the comfort of their own couch.
Today, we're asking for your $25,000 to cover our largest overhead cost, which is the development of our app. We will use, once our app is developed, as we are a startup company and we do not have a cost structure that we can guarantee you will work, we will then find the cost structure for the added cost of the at-home mechanic to come to your house.
From some market research we have done, some people say our service is similar to AAA, but the truth is that we are very different. Unlike AAA that just gets you home, we come to your home and fix your car and get it running perfect.
We feel our cost structure, or our customers will pay extra for our at-home service due to the convenience and the safety of when your car isn't running perfect, we don't want you having to drive it. We feel that people pay premiums for convenience, such as apps like Grubhub and Uber Eats.
So what do you say, Sharks? You want to bring the mechanic home?
I need an oil change right now, actually, so.
Perfect.
Parked right out there. I think this is a great idea. Once you get your app and once you get going, how do you see yourself working with mechanics? Would you sort of hire your own mechanics and start locally, or would you How would that work?
Our plan is we're gonna have a group of mechanics that are obviously legally qualified, but also go through our courses, and we make sure they're up to our standard to what we would like. And then they'll be private contractors in themselves under our company, and there would be a premium that you would pay for to get the mechanic to your house, and then everything after that, such as parts and time, would be mechanic, and it would be disclosed before, and you would know what you're paying for.
So what would that upfront, like, we just had a plumber at the house and it was, such and such dollars just to even walk in the door. What is that amount for a mechanic to come out and sort of assess what's going on?
As of right now, it's a $25 fee on top of whatever the mechanic's first hour is, obviously, just to get the mechanic to the house to see what's wrong. If it is something such as an oil change, it's just $25 extra. They know what they're coming for,
Okay.
and they would pay that.
Super.
Do you only have one revenue stream going into the iMechanic, or are there multiple? So, such as a membership from the actual contractors that you're using for this, or mechanics?
Yeah, so basically it would be our members on our app would pay a monthly membership fee to have the use of the app and have the at-home mechanic availability, as well as our mechanics would pay a monthly fee to stay up to date with everything we need them to be ready for and to stay a part of the iMechanic team.
So there's membership from the customers as one revenue stream, almost a membership from the mechanics, and do you get a cut of the actual work performed as well, or no?
Yes, sir. So we get the $25 for the cost to get them to your home on top of their first hour, obviously, and then every hour they're there, we will be making $5 for every hour.
Are you getting a percentage of the actual labor and materials, or are you just allowing the mechanic to keep that?
So the labor that's independently them. We get the $25 fee to get them to your house, and then the $5 each hour that the mechanic is at their house. That would be our cut of the labor.
Have you, I'm going to say this as best I can, have you looked at the labor availability of mechanics and tradespeople right now, and the availability of you to entice them away from dealerships and their own business?
Yeah, so that's one of the main points of our business. We think that the mechanics would be prone to come to our company. They can make their own hours. They can be on and off the app as long as we have someone logged on as our mechanic. We would have people scheduled, obviously, but they could also pick up shifts or pick up at-home appointments as they please. So it's a way to gain extra money on top of. They could also have jobs such as you said at the dealerships and shops around. So it could be on top of that. We will have part-time and full-time mechanics.
I have a follow-up, just a little further. You're talking about essentially 1099 employee, which means they're not in a 1099 basis, which means they're not your employees. That basically, you have a contract with them to provide services. And have you thought of what that means from a liability standpoint when, say, they show up at someone's home and they destroy the car? For some reason, they don't know what they're doing, although they've been certified by you, etc. It's a liability aspect here that they're not your employees, that they're contractors, and they change your oil, but they put in vinegar or something instead.
Yes, sir. We will have liability insurance such as a regular shop, and the mechanics will all be trained under us, so they will all be if they're not full-time employees, they will be a part of the team and required to pick up so many appointments through the month, making them completing their status inside the company. That way they could keep their membership with us and it would be a way for them to make money on top of their, as you said, the dealership and shop job.
So is it almost like an Uber driver? You know, they can kind of set their own hours and.
Yeah, so the like we were talking about the mechanics that also work other jobs at the dealerships and at the local shops, they would make their own hours. We would allow them to pick up any appointment they would like, but we would also have mechanics that are scheduled that they have to take appointments during these hours. That way we know if you're logged onto the app and your car needs assistance, that we will have someone there.
We thought about quality control. How would you be able to, I think it's kind of piggybacking on what Gino said, control that part of it?
Yeah, so there would be incentives to our mechanics to make sure that they perform to our quality of work. After each visit, we will have obviously reviews by the customer. We'll have the customer review their interactions with our mechanic and review their work. And the better reviews they get, it'll bring as of right now, the plan is it will bring down their cost monthly to be a part of the company. The higher your ratings are, the lower your cost will be to maintain that mechanic membership. And we feel through those courses and reviews that some of the problems that come up each month, we can have courses that we send to our mechanics to keep them up to date with what our company wants as far as quality.
How will the app work? Are you envisioning it just sort of I log on? I mean, the oil change is pretty easy, but you know, if there's something bigger going on, do you sort of go through a questionnaire and that kind of helps sort of predetermine what's going on with the car? And also, is it sort of like, you know, you can kind of pace out when I need an oil change and I get a little reminder, or how do you see the whole, just generally how the app will work?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, the oil change is pretty easy. The mechanic knows what they're coming to the house for, but we would have a survey. If something came up where your car wasn't running right, you would log on to the app, you have a survey, you answer questions as far as what's going on. Our mechanics can log onto a chat feature and ask you questions to further know what they're coming for. That way they can be better prepared. And then they come out, they look at it, and they then meet with you, the customer, and you go from there as far as how you're gonna fix this and what exactly the fix entails.
What made you think this is an important or a marketable offering?
So one of the big things was we all just obviously got into driving, and there's times when you get into your car, check engine light comes on, say it's making a weird noise, say there's a squeak, and to be honest, like there's times when you don't feel safe putting your car back on the road, and instead of waiting for a tow truck to get to your house and to get you to the shop, we bring the mechanic right to you. They'll fix it right there, and then you'll be ready to go. And you can continue your day at home while they're fixing that, or even on the road at work. If it's something as easy as an oil change, they could do that in a parking lot.
So in an emergency situation, or in your case, you don't feel safe, what's your guaranteed response time? And hopefully AAA is not listening. You can call AAA and get a suntan and probably shave in a shower and what else while you're waiting for them. In your case, a probable appealing aspect would be, hey, we guarantee someone there in 20 minutes or whatever it is. So,
yeah, so
what makes you different than a AAA that you call and they say, you're on the list, they'll get to you?
Yeah, so one major difference is AAA guarantees to get you home or to a shop. We guarantee that we will get your car running perfect. We will get your car running right. We will get that check engine light off. We can also do oil changes as well and standard services that we will have through the app. So AAA will be able to get you home. Like you said, it's a very long wait. And so our plan is to start small, have a focused area, and have enough mechanics to cover whatever comes up. That we can guarantee you that we're at your house in a very reasonable time, depending on the change. If it's something like an oil change, obviously you can schedule the day before. You can set a certain time. Or if it's something like an emergency, we plan to have someone close enough that we can guarantee you between 10 and 20 minutes that they're at your house.
more question for me. It's just logistically, you have the mechanic maybe in place, but vans with all the tools and everything that they need, to actually work on the car. How do you kind of see
Yeah.
working through that, especially in the beginning?
To start off, obviously many mechanics have their own tools. Even at local shops, we met with some local shops, and even at those local shops, the mechanics bring their own tools to work. They keep their own tools at that shop. So to start off, it would be the mechanics provide their own transportation and tools for the job. And then once we got big enough, we would have standard issue vans to every new mechanic that comes onto the team.
What are you hoping in terms of projections? What do you think that this would do revenue-wise in a given year? And let's say if it's just starting out, I'm assuming, the state of Massachusetts, how many mechanics do you need to get on board in order for it to be profitable?
So we were planning to start off obviously a little bit smaller than the state of Mass. We were planning to start off around the Merrimack Valley, really get our name out there, really get we estimated that we would need around 25 mechanics to have that 10 to 20 minute response time in the case of an emergency.
One last for me, if I can add. Did you say you wanted about $25,000 to develop your app? Is that the first 25?
Yeah, that's what we use the initial investment for, because that's the main thing we need to get our mechanic service up and running.
And what would be your next tranche of money that you think, say we gave you the 25 and you developed the app, hopefully someone else has developed it before you, which has happened to me on other occasions. What would be your next chunk of money that you think you would need once you successfully have your app working?
Once the app's working and situated with all of our mechanics, obviously in this small region, our next chunk of money that we would need would be the standard issue vans and tools, which would be most likely we project about a year down the line once our company's situated and we've really got our name out there and we've got a system that works. Though we feel each van after the first amount for however many mechanics we have at that point at a year, the company will pay for itself and it won't be a large sum of money that will be needed by the company.
You mentioned 25,000 to develop the app. Is that something that you did research on and said it cost 25,000 to develop this app?
Yes, sir. So we did extensive research into the development of the app and even a website. And for that $25,000, we feel we can get our app running to what we want it and get a website running with that app to gain us exposure as well as draw people to that app.
I think what is going to be the biggest hurdle you'll have is to establish your presence and your ability to make good on your promise to be out in 15 and 20 minutes. So that to me, I would put more idea and thought process into your marketability, because I think the idea is great, but at many times if you can't market this, the great ideas will just die in the vine. So I would put some more thought into that process as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You might want to add car wash to that as well.
Yeah, that is in our plan for the first year is to have a detailing service. It's hard when most mechanics aren't willing. We met with
kind of a separate division.
Yeah, it would entail a new side of things when we would need a lot more employees for the detailing side, obviously. But that is something we thought about and we're planning to add.
Excellent.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, and I apologize for my cough.
This next group is offering you an opportunity to feel like you're at a 5-star hotel from the comfort of your home.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA,
Hi Sharks, our names are Sarah,
Jaden, Haley, Emily.
and we are the founders of Towelz.
Today we're seeking a $25,000 investment to help launch and build our business.
Our product is a new and innovative towel design that makes drying off easier than ever. Whether at the beach or after any normal shower, Towelz is great for anyone because of just how customizable it is. Off our website, you have the option to change the color, size, or fabric of it. This ensures that it's made just for you. You can make it so that either both sides are towel material, or one side is towel and one side is a robe material. This makes sure that you can have a towel and a robe all in one.
What makes our product unique is the thin, waterproof nylon fabric in between the two towels. This ensures that when one side is wet, the other side stays nice and dry.
We have scaled down a sample for a demonstration. As you can see, when Sarah sprays one side of the towel, the other side stays completely dry.
We're planning on selling a traditional size towel for around $20 since our manufacturing costs are around $9 per towel. In the future, we'll also be selling towel bundles ranging from $20 to $40 depending on customizations and quantity. We'll be using the $25,000 investment to purchase our initial stock of towels, along with completing a patent application and building our website. Later in our business, we'll also be investing in an office space as our business grows.
So our current target market is directed towards young adults. To make sure that this is successful, we need to have competitive pricing while also marketing directly towards them. Our $20 price point is great in ensuring that it is competitive enough compared to other towel brands, while also while also leaving enough for profit.
We'll also be in the process of getting two things, a business license and a patent. The business license allows us to sell our product online, and the patent protects us from other businesses stealing our design.
Our website Towelz allows for customers to customize the fabric, the size, and the color. And we also plan on implementing our product in stores such as Target, Walmart, Amazon, and Bed Bath & Beyond. And this will help to expand our customer base.
A future goal of ours will be to have our product in hotels, which will help spread word about our product and hopefully encourage people to buy their own when they get home. We'll also be implementing some marketing, like using social media and brand ambassadors on those social media platforms to market our product, which will work better than traditional ads.
So Sharks, we want to get the best of both worlds and invest in Towelz.
I will start, I like the idea. And to get this, I like the idea of going to hotels. And have you thought about your pitch to a hotel and say, hey, we're going to give you X towels, or we're going, how are you going to approach them to say, hey, we want to try this, are you willing to help us?
So we were thinking once we get some initial sales on our towels, then we'll try to approach some like local hotels, some probably smaller ones because it would be hard to get into large corporations. And then once we get feedback from them, maybe that will help us get into the larger brands.
Okay.
Can I see the towel? Yeah. So it's a towel and a robe?
So that's a customizable feature on our website or on the websites of the stores that will have our product in. You can customize what type of material you want on each side, which could include like a normal towel texture, or we can do the robe material like some people prefer. So a lot of factors in our product are customizable, so it fits you.
So there's a layer in between.
Yes, it's a layer of nylon fabric, and it's waterproof and it's flexible.
You had mentioned the cost of manufacturing. What was that again?
The cost of manufacturing was around $9, and we were originally planning on manufacturing
in like hiring someone to manufacture, possibly overseas, and then as our business expands and we're selling enough product to afford this, we may invest in our own manufacturing factory.
And where did you get the $9 manufacturing cost?
We based that off of the cost of cotton materials along with the nylon fabric, and then did some research on average cost of manufacturing for other towel brands, and then we estimated it from there based off those costs.
I love the idea. I wonder if there's a different material you could use inside, just because of the
Yeah. So that for our prototype, that one doesn't actually have like the nylon fabric in it. That was just like a scaled down version for this, just so you get the idea of like how it works and stuff.
Got it, okay.
So this would be breathable rather than putting it on a plastic sheet and hoping you're going to lose weight.
Yes, it
If I
would.
could use that, by the way, so that's another product you can think of.
Your next product.
Right. Have you thought about, talking to people in the Lawrence area, the greater Lawrence area, who are looking for production possibilities here to see if you could help someone else and combine with them to make this product locally and to give someone else a chance locally for bringing themselves into the market?
So as we get closer to actually manufacturing our product, we'll look at different facilities to do that and see what the actual cost it would be to manufacture it at each place, because obviously we're trying to have an affordable product around $20, so we need to make sure that our cost per product to produce isn't too high, but that's definitely a possibility.
Thank you.
I also think this would be, on a website to customize it for kids, get kids' names on there, or different, characters and things like that could be really a nice target audience as well.
Yeah, off our website we have the option for like initials and stuff, like little details you can add to it. You can change the color. We even have like different fabric materials, so there's like a higher quality one, or if you want like a lower price one, you can have just like the basic. So it gives full range of customization for anyone.
I wonder too if you did something kind of like the companies where every towel that you sell, you give $1, or donate a towel to charity or to something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, especially since our goal is to reach the young adults, the people in college with like the communal showers and stuff. It's good to have like the two sides. So if we did partner with someone like colleges even for like their dorms, or like the YMCA, like you said, and then we can like give back.
Boys club and
Have you done research on competition, and if so, what would be the closest competition that you might have?
We have done some research on competitions at popular places like Target, Amazon, Walmart, as we mentioned. That's where we're getting our product price from, because we decided that we need to price it as affordable as we can, because you can go into some places like Target or Walmart and you can find towels that are a little cheaper, but we're gonna plan on making our product a higher quality, so we're able to have a little bit higher price at $20 while still being affordable enough for people to buy.
And have you done any surveys regarding the need for this particular product?
Yeah, so we actually surveyed a couple of the faculty and students, and many people were interested.
Yeah, I think we had around like 60 or 70% interest in our product.
When you did your research, was there a product like this, or were you just trying to understand what the towel industry pricing is?
Yeah, so there's no product that has like that design where it's like one side doesn't get wet while after you use the other one. But all of the competition, it was just like with pricing and stuff. There was no one has like the option for the like two colors or two different materials. Like that's all us.
So as a follow-up, and I don't mean this to be as it's going to sound, since no one else has come up with this, why do you think you're ahead of the curve with this multi-billion-dollar manufacturers looking at different products and they haven't thought of this?
So we're basing that off the interest from the survey that we did. That's why we decided most of the people who responded to the survey were around high school, like young adult age. Most of the demographic was from high school to like 25, 30 years old. And we were basing the need for our product off their interest, and also that, yeah, there wasn't anything in the market that was like it.
Who came up with the idea, and then where was your inspiration from?
So I was at a swim meet for MVCs, and I had just came out from swimming, and I used the towel, and then afterwards I wanted to like take a shower before we left, but my towel was already like wet with the chlorine water, and I didn't have anything else. So I was like, okay, I could design something so that I can have one side dry while after I use the other one, and then we came up with that.
I think it's a great idea. Both my boys surf, so we're on the beach all day, and that would be a great, it would solve a big problem there. In and out of the water. Nice job, ladies.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, Susie?
This next group will forever revolutionize the way students study. Next group is audio study.
Susie, Susie. Woo!
Am I forgetting something? Oh, I have a test on the Great Depression tomorrow. Maybe I should use audio study.
Farming in the Great Depression. Demand for crops during World War I was large, which led them to buying new and expensive farm equipment and also investing in wage. After the war, farming output was still increasing.
Hello Sharks, hello everybody. I hope you guys are having a good evening. We are audio study, a studying app created for students by students. I'm Marlene Alvarez, the project manager and a part of the design team. I help create the visuals for our website and for our presentations, and I also help lead the group with our goals and what we have to do to get there.
Hi, I'm Jacinta Kamau. I'm the researcher and I'm also part of the design team. I help provide data on our industry while also looking at our competitors.
Hi, I'm Michael Hamlin. I'm the data analyst, and I'm also the person who came up with the idea of audio study. Late one night, I was studying and I was exhausted, and I just thought to myself, there has to be a better way. Like, I'm juggling with tennis, like club activities, and studying on top of all of that. And I thought, what if I could just listen to my notes while doing other things? So I thought, hey, I should try to make this, and here we are.
Learning shouldn't be a hassle, so wherever, whenever, use audio study. You can take your boring old paper notes and turn them with the audio with just a click of a camera.
Audio study takes learning to a new level with the classroom feature. As you can see up here, the classroom feature allows for students to look at previous and current lessons uploaded by their teacher. They can also look at the calendar feature. They can also look at what notes other students have uploaded, and they can help make their notes even more better. And they also have what a regular studying app should have, which is matching flashcards, and they should have the audio part, which we all have, and the matching and the, and then we also have the forum, which allows current students to talk to each other within the classroom and then outside of the classroom as well. And our app will be in the Google Play Store and in the App Store.
So our app, there are 2 price points for students who are not associated with the school that is playing with us. $4.99 per month or $30 a year. We came across this price point after looking at our competitors Quizlet, who offer an atrocious $8 a month or $35 a year. And they thought that students shouldn't have to break the bank in one name to have like no ads or put pictures on their flashcards or even having their favorite celebrity voice their notes. So we don't want our students to try to decide whether they have time to eat a meal or study for their next big test.
Next, our competition is a huge part in our startup for audio study, with competing with big names such as Quizlet, Cocoon, and Soccer. Audio study is intended and created to help people study with ease. Audio study has something that these apps don't: a sense of creativity and a personality that makes it stand on its own while having a community. We want to match the fast-paced lives of students while providing fast-paced ways where they can learn anywhere. We want to do this by targeting our audiences that are going to be high school students and teachers. We're doing this by creating a TikTok account, making it carefree and fun so it's enjoyable to look at. In fact, in 2020, researchers say that 67% of TikTok users buy something on the app that they weren't intended to buy at all.
If we win the $25,000, $5,000 will go into promotion, which includes going to schools and showing them our pitch and a rundown of our app, and also giving them merchandise and flyers. And then the rest will also, for the $5,000 of promotion, the rest will also go into our TikTok ads, which we decided would be our main social media platform. And we would have ads on the For You page and also sponsorships with different TikTok content creators that specialize in education. Then for the $20,000, we will have that be towards our programmer, which will help our app come to life.
Sharks, if you listen to us, you'll help the world listen to audio study.
Want me to start?
I can start.
Go ahead.
All right. So you said one of the differences in your competition, and I don't think I understood the response. You said the creativity behind it. Can you elaborate on that?
We want to make sure that students who are using the app understand what we're doing this for. As stated before, this is an app from students for students, and we want this to be an app where it's fun to use or enjoyable to use, knowing that like this is made in a fun way where Cocoon and Quizlet and those other apps are just concrete. We want to make sure that we're making it interesting, so like, oh, like, you know what, this is a better way for me to study.
And revenue-wise, who's making what? So the students are making the content, correct?
Yes, by with their notes that they're using for their audios, yes.
And then are they getting a piece of the profit for making the content?
No, it's supposed to be a way so when they put it on there, they're able to listen to the notes. So like, if a student wants to go and work out at the gym, like I know a lot of my classmates do all the time, because I see them there. And they shouldn't have to juggle between wanting to be more fit and having to study, so they can just pull in their earbuds and listen to it. It's just an added bonus that they're contributing to our website, because it gives us the data we need to help other students while helping them study in ways they never could before.
Now that's a student that's working out and reaping the benefit of it.
It doesn't have to be somebody who's working out. You can be cleaning, you can be doing chores, you can literally be doing homework for something else. And granted, that requires a bunch of multitasking, but if you have enough dedication, then it's a huge time saver.
And the person putting in the time to create it.
Well, so the feature is you write them out and you scan the notes. It's not just you're typing them in. Granted, this technology already exists, but it hasn't been used. It hasn't been exploited. It's not the right word, sorry. But it hasn't been
Exploited is a good word.
Let's use it then. It hasn't been exploited in study. Like, if you can scan text and create, like, even if it's just typed notes, that alone is great. But if you can turn that into audio, that utilizes something. It's not just for people who love visual learners. It transforms learning into more audio outside the classroom than it ever was before.
I want to follow up. So you are the vehicle, the content is not yours, the content is being absorbed by your participatory people, right? So you're providing a vehicle for these notes and this data to be, I'm assuming, scanned in, take a photograph, and does you're proposing your program will be like a reader that translates this into audio?
Yes, granted there will be flaws in the scanning because we all know that person, I am that person first of all, who is horrible writing. Like,
I'm with you, that's what I was gonna come to, because I can't, you will not read my writing.
yeah, but so hopefully it's eligible enough that you get phrases and then you'll, granted that will be time consuming, we could also go in and physically change words to make sure they are correct and it's not gonna read you some nonsense that you can barely understand reading in the first place.
I look at this and say, okay, it's an interesting concept. Again, it's almost like when Facebook started, it was.
How that is now.
Yeah, so that's, yes. But there was a platform and a lot of investment that was put in there, and hopefully that's the same for yours. It is now you're relying upon other people to provide you the content that makes you successful. And that's where we have to understand, how do you capture that audience that says, I'm going to go to your site versus these other two sites that you say are more concrete, not flexible, not creative, not friendly? How do you get those people to say, this is much better? Listen, I like to have fun too, but it may not be just the fun aspect that's going to make them come to yours. What makes them come to you and download, or upload in this case, so you can download this information?
I'm gonna pass that question over to Jacinta because she's more into the marketing aspect of this than I am.
We were just gonna simply talk to them with what they want from us, because I feel like valuing the students' feedback would help a lot. Also, like going to like schools and the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA, like talking to them and sharing our app and website, like showing what we can do for them in this app and how it can benefit them. Because I know it helps a lot with other staff, making it easy for students to get along with their grades and their studying. So yeah, I feel like talking with them so like they know and they can spread the word themselves would help us and also help them.
I would also like to add that knowing an app or a product's story really helps like convey the message, like, well, I should really be using this instead of this. Like when I like buy makeup or buy something, I look at their story and look at their like brand ambassadors and stuff like that. And I look to see, do they test on animals, do they do this, etc. And if I like the message behind them, then I will fully support them.
One question, and I'm not a very technical person, I try to be, but so the students are scanning or are putting their notes into the app. So if you have 3 people, 3 different notes about maybe one particular Civil War or something like that. So how does that work when somebody logs on to listen to and study? How does that filter through, and how do you make sure that the content is correct?
So this is a concept I just came up with, improvising, yeah. But we could incorporate a system of approvals. Like if you liked a note, you could like it, or if you found like a fault with it, you could just like it.
Rate it.
Exactly. That way you can sit through the information that's true and what could be false.
So will you sort of oversee to make sure that the content is correct content?
We'll do our best at the beginning.
Eventually,
when we get a bigger following, we hope that our users would do that for us. But I understand it.
So it's like Wikipedia. I mean, you're going to post something, and hopefully, if I was maniacal, I had a chemistry exam and I put all the wrong information because I want to get the 100 no one else. I'm not like that, by the way. How does someone, what's the breadth of your knowledge of the subject matter? So if someone puts something that's, in calculus or whatever, that is just wrong, and I'm following up this question. How do you filter that? I'm not saying filter from a creativity point of view, but from a correctness point of view.
We would be able to, in the future, we'll probably have a team where they can fact check everything to make sure that everything uploaded is actual correct content and not like whatever they wanted to write and they claim that is true.
But I do also understand kind of, as you give this time, the self-correcting would be massive, because if a person does use it, does get a great grade, and is able to go back and now say, hey, this one worked, give it a thumbs up, and starts making a reputation for that particular topic, creates popularity. So that makes a lot of sense, because fact checking was going to be a huge concern. Where I can't really wrap my head around is, again, making this profitable for you, and also incentivizing the students, because I think that there is a way that you can incentivize a student to really give you the content that you're looking for, and making sure that they're providing you good content.
So our ad revenue will be, our income will mostly be coming from the premium subscriptions, but we also, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the premium versus non-premium is ads, premium is no ads, and then a couple other features which are fun but serve no valuable purpose. But we get money when we have businesses, what's the word, advertise on our website, which will, speaking from a business point of view, frustrate those who haven't subscribed, and hopefully make the people who did subscribe thankful that they did.
So the goodness, out of the kindness of your heart to upload your notes is what you're kind of relying on, but that person is taking all the risk, uploading their notes.
Well, not really, because you can, I kind of mentioned this before, but you wouldn't be able to listen. There's no other, the best of our knowledge with the research we've done, there's no other app or feature that has utilized this type of technology to combine the whole scanning of notes or handwritten to computer and then have it read it out to you. So at the exact moment in time, nobody else is doing this, so they don't have a choice. If they want to have to listen to their notes and be able to do other things at the same time and save time, they kind of have to come to us. So the incentive for them is they can study even more efficient than before, and they're just giving us the data as a byproduct.
So they're uploading their own notes.
So
This isn't somebody else uploading their notes.
No, so it's like they're their own source. So
They're their own source. Okay.
They can also listen to others if they don't want to, if they don't trust their own notes or for any other reason, then they can listen to somebody else's. But if they feel confident in their own notes, and I hope they do, then they can scan them and put them up.
Is there ability, I got two questions here. Is there an ability, I'm just thinking of chat rooms and things of that nature. Is there ability, I know just audio, you're working out, whatever you're doing, you're cleaning the house, but is there an option that you've thought about that if there's a particular subject or test that's coming up, that you can schedule a chat room to discuss the notes that have been presented?
Yeah, we have the forum, which I mentioned earlier, which allows students to talk to students in their own classroom and students outside of their own classroom that have already taken this course or are taking this course but in another high school.
also teachers can also be in those chat rooms as well, like providing information for their students.
And can I just ask this one? Why TikTok? Why do you pick TikTok? I'm trying to figure it out because it's very controversial now about its ability to be in the United States as a viable option. And it seems to be, I know it's probably your age. I started out with pencils. So why TikTok?
It's, as of right now, it's what a lot of people our age, Gen Z, is using right now for a lot of their sources of information. Actually, recently, TikTok updated their app and made a STEM column section, so you can look at science and math and education all over. And even though it's app for fun, you could learn a lot from there. And there's so many ads and resources where you can keep yourself updated. So it would be really useful useful to have a media base over there because you'll have people that are the audience that we're looking for, and it'll be easier for the word to spread around. I feel like when using TikTok, it's like when you get there and it's a hit, it just happens to, you know.
Is there a plan B in case the government in its infinite wisdom decides, we can't use TikTok?
There were some really bright, and there are so many bright people out there. Can you follow, so you sort of follow that student? They give you really good notes, really good information. Can it be something where I'm gonna check in with,
This should be the new TikTok. Right?
I go right to the valedictorians and it is creative. Tell you what, I started out, there was still slide rules were being used, and when the full-function calculator came out, we were just blown away. So this is amazing to me. I'm trying to catch up to the other memories and generations. So, very, very good application. Thank you.
Again, if you're interested, you can head down to the first floor lobby for snacks and refreshments, and the bathrooms are immediately out of the main entrance to the left and to the right. Thanks so much. We'll see you again in about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah! That's really good. Hi Sharks, we are Avalanche. Hi Sharks, my name is John Murphy. I am the head of finance here at Avalanche. We are the future of the outdoor winter apparel industry with our revolutionary flagship Avalanche mask with replaceable mouth section, and because of our unique design with quick release and quick attach technology, it allows for dry face within seconds and leaving you with more time on the slopes.
Hi, I'm Matt, Chief Designer of Avalanche. At Avalanche, we plan to use materials that allow our customers to have both style and comfort on the slopes. According to our sample that we found 87% of people saying that they value comfortability in their ski masks, along with the majority saying that they value style as well. Our product does both for the consumer. We have any color/design along with many material options. This shows the unique way to express themselves as an individual on the slopes.
Hi Sharks, my name is Julia. We as a company don't see ourselves as promoting a product, but providing a solution. As skiers ourselves, we constantly found that we were going into the lodge early because we were cold. Specifically, our mouths were the coldest. As we conducted our market research survey, we found that we weren't alone. When we asked our prospective customers about their current ski masks, we received hundreds of comments voicing the same thing that we had. Some of these comments included, once my mask got wet, it stayed wet the whole trip. And when my mask was frozen, I went inside and it became wet and disgusting. Though these comments may sound a little gross, it shows that there's a need for a new mask in the ski industry.
Hi, my name is Luca, Head of Marketing. Before our official launch strategy, we plan to use beta users to make sure our product is as effective as possible at keeping the consumer both warm and comfortable on the slopes. We then plan to use trade shows to prove that there's a need for our product in the industry. Once this is done, we will move on to our official launch. You can have the best product in the world, but it will fail if you can't launch it effectively. We live by this as a company. We plan to build hype around our product through the use of booths at local ski mountains. These booths will allow us to do two things. First, reach thousands of prospective customers. Second, allow us to build a face-to-face connection with each of those consumers, making Avalanche more than a brand and more than a name. I recently spoke to manager of guest services at Clinton and was told that this would cost $2,000 a day. Though expensive, the ability to reach our target audience and build hype will make it well worth it. So Sharks, who's ready to cruise down the slopes and conquer the cold with Avalanche?
Before we get on to the question, my assistant right here, Matt, will be showing how the replaceable mask mouth section works. Matt, would you like to do the honors?
Here we go.
And here they are. So here is the previously cold and wet mouth section. Now replace it with a warm and dry face mouth section. It will allow for hours and hours upon end of more time on the slopes. Thank you very much. Any questions?
I want to understand just the material and how it works, and can you just go through that?
Well, we'll come over to you and we'll show you if you'd like.
Okay.
So, here you are. So
What's
this
it
is
made
actually-
out of?
So it's actually like a dry fit type of material. So it's a little bit, but we're also going to offer a little bit more than that in our actual final product. So we're going to have a customizable options such as Sherpa, fleece, even waterproof materials. All we've calculated the manufacturing cost of all of those and how much per yard it would be and what we would need to do and style it and etc.
So this is a face mask. I was trying to figure out what you are selling. You came up very enthusiastic, and I appreciate that.
Of course.
So this face mask will be fitted to you, or how does it actually get around you? Fat face, skinny face, whatever kind of face.
Exactly. So our materials are actually going to be a little bit stretchier. So obviously for the different type of person, it would be able to contour to the person's body type and whatnot. But the actual way it attaches is through strong magnets that can adhere to other magnets on top of the head of the mask, so that you can have a secure, ride down the mountain, or when you're out snow blowing, it's not going to be falling off or anything like that.
So I'm going to follow up my second question, number 2. At what speed does that fall off?
We actually haven't tried it out, but it seems to be working at any type of condition so far.
Have you stuck your head out of your car and tried it?
Would you like to try that next?
I might try it on my dog today.
Let's see what happens.
Now, in terms of the product, what would be, so I don't ski, so I may not know what I'm talking about here, but let's say I have a regular face mask. What prevents me from coming out with a product that just I put on the inside of the mask that I can just remove and put something else on the same face mask?
So with our face mask, the primary concern was a wet and cold mouth area, and obviously, you uncomfort and you want to go inside and whatnot. But because of us selling other packs of replaceables, it would allow for a quick on and off. You get the dry one. You slap it on, and then it should last you for a while, about 2 hours.
And so you plan on marketing this, you had mentioned, is it Boost?
Yeah, so I reached out to Killington Mountain, and I was quoted at $2,000 a day, roughly, more or less, depending on the day, depending on the size of when you wanted to do it. But similar to other companies like Monster Energy, they host a lot of big ski events and X Games type of things. We want to start at a slightly smaller scale, but still have some of that energy we can get at a ski mountain with enthusiastic people.
So maybe as a test market to go to one of these mountains and just give them to, a bunch of skiers for the day and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. And then along with trade shows, there's a yearly one in Boston where all the ski companies show their new products. We would definitely try to get a spot in there.
And have you run this by other skiers? And if so, how many more or less, and what were their thoughts on it?
Yeah, so we conducted a market research survey, and when asked if you would, based on the description of our product, if you would use it, we found that 70% of the people said they would, relative to skier and winter sports or sledding, shoveling.
I just have one more. So that it's 2 pieces. It's the piece around your neck, and then it's the mask, and the magnets clip together.
Correct. So around the actual sides of the mask, they are lined with magnets, and hopefully we can get into a little bit more of a secure thing on the final product. And on the sides of the replaceable, there would be another secure area that you can lock onto that part, and securing the dry face mask as well.
Very good.
We have time for one more question. So it's really a hood, it's a full face. That's what it's doing. So for $25,000, where are you going to spend this money? And I do like the idea you're going to go to booths and trade shows first before you launch publicly. But for $25,000, what am I getting back on my investment?
Yeah, so definitely a portion of that would go to that ski boots and trade shows of the $25,000, but also a majority of it would be used just for startup startup costs to get units rolling and get our product in stores.
And then lastly is, so cost to make, the sale price, and where you plan on manufacturing.
So the different types of materials, like I was saying before, the waterproof materials and the fleece and the Sherpa, all customizable. So we actually did some research, and the Sherpa would be around $8 a yard, and then while the fleece would be about $5, a little bit on the cheaper end, and then the high quality waterproof material, which when we found from our market research was the more desirable option, especially for the given circumstances, it would be around like $12 to $13 an hour, and because of and we expect to break even at around 5,000 units, capping us at like $20,000 at around that range, minus the fact of establishing manufacturing and whatnot.
Was that the cost to make it, or was that the sale price?
The sale price would be so we expect to sell two different things: the hood with two replaceable masks, one that you can obviously replace with the other, and that would be allocated at $30. However, the replaceables, which can come in separate packs, so you can get more for your family, more for yourself, it would be around $6 per pack of one.
Great.
And just I think one quick more question. Shoveling snow, things like that.
Yeah, so our biggest competitor is a company called Sirius. So it's a ski mask that features a similar technology with the head wrap with a mask that comes down but doesn't detach. So our value really comes in the detachable part, where you can put different materials, different colors.
Change out.
Yeah, like complete customizability, which we don't think there is in this ski industry right now.
Cool.
Especially we think it's revolutionary, since the design of the ski mask hasn't changed for years. So we think improving upon it would actually set us apart and make us a better brand in the long term.
This next business, DishStar, is going to make sure that everyone dining out gets the perfect dish.
Let's go, Susie!
Man, I sure am hungry.
Same here, Easton. What are you feeling like?
Be honest, I'm craving a cheeseburger right now.
I could go for a cheeseburger.
Sounds great to me. Where should we go?
We should try someplace new. If only there was a way to find the absolute best cheeseburger in the area.
I know, right? If only there was an app that allowed us to cross-reference the best individual dishes in the specific categories of our choosing.
Well, Sharks, now there is. We are DishStar. I'm Andrew.
I'm James.
I'm Easton.
And I'm Megan. DishStar is an app that offers multiple opportunities to cross-reference the best individual dishes in the category of your choice. From finding the best Chinese restaurant in a new city to the best chicken parm in your local area, DishStar has it all.
My friends here wanted to find the best cheeseburger in the area, and today, most people would think to search it up on Yelp. So, let's see what Yelp has to offer. Above is a search for cheeseburgers in Bethune, Mass on Yelp. As you can see, of the top 10 recommendations for cheeseburgers, only 2 options are actually cheeseburgers. This is because Yelp uses a keyword system. If a word is mentioned even once within a review, it will be recommended under the search. This causes several problems regarding scope and consistency, but most important, as we witnessed, the search algorithm may not be accurate. Now let's run a prototype of our app, DishStar. After starting the experience, a classic search bar is provided at the top, and categories are laid out clearly. My friends wanted a cheeseburger, so let's click sandwiches. Here are the sandwich options. Let's click burger. And here are the DishStar recommended burgers. As you can see, they are easily accessible, and they're actually cheeseburgers.
Our industry has a few corporations that make up the market, those of which being Google Reviews, Yelp, and Trustpilot. We have the one thing they don't though.
We have the opportunity for people to be able to review individual dishes rather than the restaurant experience as a whole.
DishStar will be an app free to download and available to users across the globe. We'll be pioneering in the online rating and review industry and has seen rapid growth in recent years, as over 500,000 restaurants nationwide are now visible on at least one of a few companies offering online review technologies.
Better than any other app on the market, DishStar fulfills the need for users to read reviews for specific dishes rather than restaurants as a whole. According to the market research we conducted both school-wide and at Tino's Kitchen and Bar, over 90% of respondents claimed that specific dish ratings would be helpful in the restaurant search process, and roughly 62% of respondents claimed that they would be more likely to write a review on our platform if they themselves benefited from reading one. What this proves is our business model's sustainability, and that as more people are reading reviews, more people will be writing reviews, which will help our app gain traction and grow exponentially.
Not only do we meet the needs of our customers, but we also meet the needs of our restaurants. DishStar provides a low-cost opportunity for restaurants to advertise themselves. We provide valuable customer preference data that allows restaurants to improve their dishes and menu variety. Let's listen to a moment from an interview I had with my boss, the general manager at Tino's, Jillian Mansfield. As of right now, how do you kind of like decipher which dishes customers enjoy and what's selling?
Unless they mention it specifically, we don't always know. So actually, sometimes I'll make the extra effort if we get a really great or a negative review. I want to see what they had, so it takes some digging. Like I'll go back, look at the name on the review, if it's not anonymous, which sometimes it is. I'll look at where they sat that night, and sometimes I can tell like what they had just based on where they were and our records on their check.
Clearly, utilizing DishStar would simplify this process completely and allow for restaurants like Tino's to truly maximize their potential in gaining consumer feedback.
We recognize that DishStar will need to gain traction early on in bringing both as many users as possible while also featuring as many restaurants as possible. We can accomplish this by personally reaching out to restaurants in the area in pursuit of partnerships. And by marketing our app on Facebook and Twitter, we can appeal to Gen Xers and Millennials, who both tended to eat out more often and expressed more interest in the specific dish rating concept than the other age groups that we surveyed.
Now Sharks, at this point you might be thinking, wow, this is a great idea. But how are you going to make money, and what does your revenue model look like? Right now we're planning on providing the opportunity for the restaurants themselves to be able to use DishStar as a way for them to advertise. We'll have them be able to put their individual dishes as featured specials and DishStar unique suggestions, while also having them be able to advertise their restaurant as a whole with pop-up ads.
Sharks, this is where we need your help. In order to get our idea off the ground, we're going to need investment funding to cover our startup and marketing and administrative costs, and most importantly, programming costs for building our app.
We truly believe that DishStar has the potential to revolutionize the dining experience for good. We see a large amount of growth potential in our app, and today, you have an opportunity to become a part of it. So Sharks, eat above par, use DishStar.
I like the applicability here and the fact that it is differentiating itself from restaurant reviews to specific dishes. And I think that's an interesting concept, and I applaud you on that. The part that I want to ask is the first question is, you said your cost, other than $25,000 if you so choose to get it, or we choose you to get it, maybe you give us 25, we could really make a good deal here. Is the cost is going to be borne by restaurant ads? Is that what your revenue sources? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, that's going to be the main revenue stream.
So the question I have is, how does your audience feel that that is not a conflict of interest? What is the objectivity? So if Tino's gives you $50,000 in advertising and their cheeseburgers are really bad, and they're saying this is our feature, how can you make sure that your audience trusts your the information being posted?
So that's something that we've thought about a lot actually. Right now with Yelp, when you go on, you'll see that their sponsorships are at the top, which is another issue with the keyword system.
But something that we're going to plan on doing is strategically placing the ads so that it doesn't interfere with the actual review system, but it's more as an opportunity to see, oh, I'm hungry, what should I get? This looks like a good cheeseburger. So that it's not interfering with the actual review system.
And just adding on to that, the sponsorship part, it's going to be on that front page, as you saw. That's going to be a lot of this featured specials. But on the search, when you go and search for a specific dish, there's going to be absolutely no restaurant advertisements. It's only going to be based on the user's input and the top rated dishes.
If I put in, hamburger or cheeseburger in Grubhub, what happens?
Grubhub will show you cheeseburgers without ratings. So they'll just give you simply just a description of the cheeseburger, and there's really no way for you to be able to tell how other customers have enjoyed that cheeseburger. It's really just based on the merit of the restaurant as a whole, which sometimes that doesn't define specific dishes.
With the cost of, I think restaurants are having a tough time with the cost of what they're giving up to Grubhub and what they're doing with marketing, etc. Why would it be advantageous to use your marketing campaign versus somebody else's, with again, cost being, just feeling all the burden that the restaurants are going through?
Yeah. So like Jillian mentioned in the interview, the advantageous portion would be the customer data that they're gaining. If you go on Grubhub, you're not really gaining any customer data, they're just rating their overall experience. But restaurants partnering with us would benefit because they can see what customers are actually enjoying, what they're not enjoying. Maybe if there's limited time specials, they can run that for a week. And on the receipt, when they get their bill, there can be a QR code where they can rate the dish, and then they can gain, it's just customer feedback from that. So
I think my biggest question would be, is there a way, do you sort of also monitor, the feedback? Being a small business owner, you have 99% satisfaction, but that 1%, who you can never sort of make happy, or just we had a bad day and they had a bad experience. So how does that, is it like a rating system, so my burger would kind of drop down on the rating system, or how long would that stay on, that bad rating? Just as a small business, those feedback is very important to us, but when it's out to the public, people really do, I think, go with reviews now. But how would that work?
So a big part of our kind of mission is to be unbiased. We do have those feature specials, but on the first page. But when you're looking at the ratings, you want to make sure you're getting honest opinions. And if a customer gives a negative review on a burger, most times it's for a reason. And a lot of times, if there's a lot of positive reviews, but then only kind of one negative, it's clearly an outlier. And if every single recommendation is getting at least one or two negative reviews, it kind of evens out.
Yeah, and building off of that, one of the things that we talked about in the opportunities subsection of our SWOT analysis is offering a certification opportunity for accredited online food reviewers, because there's already people out there who are food bloggers and have a following and who do that. So we'll offer a certification opportunity for them, and their feedback will have somewhat of a priority over just the general public who might not feel as authentic.
Interesting.
I want to follow up on that because it's great, because in being a business, there are professional organizations that we employ to say, is anything bad been said about us? Because 99 good things don't make a difference most of the time. It's that one bad thing that comes to you and really disrupts your firm's culture and ability to sell. I'm thinking in this case, if you had negative, and they're really true negative, we've all had bad experiences, whether the server, whether the chef, whatever it is. Could it be a feature of yours to say, okay, we've gathered all the negative remarks about your dishes or your restaurant and send it back to them so they have this feedback, so they know, okay, We have 55 great ones, but here are the 3 where we have to improve.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that we're hoping that restaurants see in our app is that this isn't just a spot for them to advertise, but for a spot for them to find data on. And there'll be multiple categories. So I know you were saying if someone didn't enjoy the experience, would my cheeseburger go down? It would be more of a way to say the cheeseburger was great, but maybe the service wasn't the best. And then to be able to take that data and say, okay, the food's doing well, but I think we need to maybe have another training with the servers, or maybe work on something outside of the food, to be able to separate them and see the multiple different categories, rather than just something as a whole.
Just to follow up and I'll stop the question. If you could offer this service rather than be paying a third party to comb the internet to see who said something bad about Trident or whatever, could you offer this, say, or weekly, that you would cull the negative comments somehow? I'm sure there's an algorithm that can do that somewhere, and send it back to your advertisers so they know, to your sponsors, so they know I'm getting value added. Not only am I getting data of who's clicking on me or searching me, but here's the valuable data where we have to be better.
Certainly, yeah. And that's looking forward. We want to be expanding. We want to be looking at these new opportunities to kind of create a complex algorithm and a helpful tool for these restaurants. So absolutely.
I definitely think that you guys are onto something. I guess the one thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around is possibly, could there be a negative impact to the restaurant owner if, let's say, you pull up a burger and that person doesn't like the burger or gets a negative review? Is that now is everybody rating the restaurant based on a review of one burger? And so could there be a step further where you're saying that's the burger, but the overall restaurant has a review of 5 stars or whatever the case is?
So, like you said, would it be more like a survey, service, like, so it's kind of like a checkbox, like, service was great, burger could have been better, but my cocktail was super.
So what we're hoping on doing is having, with the profiles, there would be a profile of the restaurant as a whole, and then their menu would go on the profile as well. So you'd be able to rate the restaurant as a whole, to talk about the service, and then go on how you said about doing cheeseburger, so that if you were going out for a night and you said, I want somewhere with a great bar and a good ambiance, you'd be able to look for that. Or I want, your service is really important to you, I don't care as much about the food, but I want the service or the ambiance to be really good. You can do both, where you can extrapolate them, but you can also see them as a whole.
And is there any tiering on the price, or is it a flat price to have my ad on your website?
Yeah, that would have to depend on how many users the actual advertisement would be displayed to, in the same way that the other online advertisements work.
And one last follow-up, I'm part of the dinosaur of the group here, so I use Open Table a lot when I'm going around the country, and Open Table allows me, they'll send me back a message. And since I booked through them, I'm not saying you have to do that, there's a rating system, as you spoke about, atmosphere, food, it's a fun place to be. Is that an option that you could put on as well when they rate, because you were following up on this? I had a burger, I had the filet mignon, and rate the different categories. They do this at my office all the time, so I'm not shut up, Chino. So that's something you can offer.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, we're looking for the growth, so definitely.
Thank you.
I think you guys did a great job.
This next group is going to allow you to bundle up and finally sleep in the comfort that you deserve. This is Cocoon.
I know that
Hi,
Hi Sharks, I'm Eva Kutim.
I'm Steph Shamoon.
I'm Andrew Pucci.
And we are
Cocoon.
Do you ever struggle with the problem of your sheets falling off your bed in the middle of the night?
Don't you think it's so inconvenient to fix your sheets almost every morning?
Let's ask our friend Aiden. Aiden, come on out here.
Take the bed. Here is a sample of some generic sheets. As you can see, they're made of very thin and flimsy material. Very hard to get bundled up in. They're even itchy and uncomfortable.
Well, as you can tell, he didn't seem too comfortable in those sheets. But, Sharks, at Cocoon, we believe that an important part of sleep is knowing, or is getting a healthy and happy environment around you.
Now that those nasty sheets are out of here, let's bring in our one-of-a-kind Cocoon sheets. Now, as Steph and Andrew are about to bring out our sheets, you'll notice some features on our sheets that you don't see on your regular old bed sheets. They're coming. They're coming. So as they're putting it on, you'll see that there is a zipper on the side of our sheets that Steph will point out in 1 second. So there's a zipper on the side which allows our customers to zip themselves up and feel extra bundled up. On our physical prototype we have Velcro because we wanted to be able to see the visual, but on our actual product there will be a zipper like the prototype shown on the screen. As for the bottom, we have a stitched bottom that attaches our fitted sheet and our loose sheet, which prevents your sheets from falling off in the middle of the night. Not only does it keep your sheets in place during the night, but it also allows our customers to easily make their bed in the morning. No need to pull their sheets back on the bed after they fell off. No need to crease corners, just pull it up and get your day started.
Okay, Sharks. According to our extensive market research, we found that young adults and adults would be our main target audience. Through a school-wide survey that we sent out, we found that these two groups would be the most interested in our products, and we even found that the adults would be most likely, many parents would be most likely to buy this for their own children to make sure that they get a good night's sleep and also so they stay bundled in their bed throughout the night. To advertise, we're going to choose social media as our main way to connect with our customers and create an emotional relationship with them so we can really get through to them. Through Instagram and Twitter, we have created some posts that we're hoping that would entice a lot of the viewers to go far enough to visit our website, www.bundlewithcocoon. On our website, you'll be able to see a lot of our products, and you'll even be given the option to join a lot of a loyalty program that we have, so that you can get discounts and more. So for competition, we have identified our main competitor to be Eucalypto. Eucalypto is another sheet company, but they sell hypoallergenic sheets, and that is it. So because we are what makes us so much different than them is that we offer so many more materials than them, and that we also have our zipper. We have our zipper and our stitching at the bottom that combines the fitted sheet and the loose sheet. So it makes us different and it adds value to our product that Eucalypto doesn't have. So basically, Cocoon can do what Eucalypto can't. We can provide a good night's sleep, but we can also provide a less inconvenient morning.
So our plan for Cocoon is to produce these sheets through Northwest Woolen Mills. This is a renowned sheet supplier in the sheet industry. We want to sell these sheets at a price of $70 for a twin, $90 for a full and queen, and $110 for a king and Cali king, at the average manufacturing price of $50.59.
As for where we're going to sell our product, we're going to start on our website, www.bundlewithcocoon.com. And here, customers can access all of our sheets. We hope to reach out to bigger retailers such as Walmart, Target, and Bed Bath & Beyond, and hopefully maybe start online and then get enough sales and success to move our physical product in stores to their home and furnishing section. And then hopefully from being in the physical stores, we'll be able to gain more customer awareness and strengthen our customer relationships.
So Sharks, we think our idea is pretty cool, and we hope that you do too. But let's bring out Aiden again and see what he thinks of these sheets.
Hopefully I sleep better tonight. As you can see, the Cocoon sheets are light and silky, and with them, I can fall asleep bright and wake up bright.
So Sharks, which one of you want to bundle up with Cocoon?
It's Aiden. Thank you so much to DishStar, Aiden.
So just to clarify, you're basically like the fitted sheet and the top sheet are connected at the bottom.
Yes.
And then there's zippers on the sides?
Yes.
On both sides?
Yes. Our idea is that your sheet will just not fall off your bed throughout the night. So even if you want to stick that foot out during the middle of the night, but when you wake up, your sheet will not be totally off the bed, and you'll still have some of it if, like, throughout the night you decided you want to be covered with it.
I think just my second question is, has any of you slept with it? Have you tried it out?
So it is like a sleeping bag, but bigger. So I did lay in this bed with the sides up, and I was pretty comfy. I was snug.
I tucked her in.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty comfy. I haven't slept a full night in it. I'm not sure. Like, this is just a little mock-up prototype, so we don't have the real thing, but it was pretty comfy.
I have to ask, how many people are losing their sheets at night?
Well, that's how we came up with the product, because I wake up in the middle of the night and like half my foot's out of the sheet, like half of it's on the floor. Then I gotta like get up in the middle of the night, pull my sheets back on, and like that's how we came up with this product.
Okay.
We just want to make sure we're looking out for everyone, just because mainly for us, that's how we created our idea, is just that we found ourselves with the sheet off of our bed and freezing, and then we have to get up in the morning, put the sheet back on our bed, and then we're late to school, and that's basically how we created this idea.
Have you thought about the cost of manufacturing?
Yeah, so the cost of manufacturing is actually $50.59 for the average between all the twin, queen, and king.
Not leaving you much room for employees, staff, overhead, starting at $70 and going to $110, right?
Yeah, so we're planning on starting out pretty small for right now. We are stationed in just one of our basements. That's basically where we're going to be packaging the products, and then from there we'll be transporting them through to the customer directly, just because we are going to start off on the website only, just because of how small we are. We are hoping that in the future, that once we do become more popular, and once we do get a bigger name for ourselves, we'll be able to reach out to bigger retail stores, kind of like how Eva said earlier, and then through there we can start thinking about getting a better place to do all of our work and looking into better opportunities for our company to grow.
Is the actual sheets, is that sort of set you apart from other sheet companies, the actual material sort of set you apart from other sheet companies? You mentioned another company.
So the company we mentioned, they have like silk and cotton, I think that's it. We offer silk, cotton, fleece, flannel, and linen. So all of those fabrics will be with the zipper and the stitched bottom. So I think we have a bigger variety of different kinds of fabrics, and with these added features, I think that sets us apart.
Have you thought about, aside from cost of manufacturing, packaging and the presentation of that packaging, and what that's going to also cost?
So the packaging we actually plan to go through is us. We did a presentation on this earlier in the year. They would do the dimensions of the box. So we would probably package around 5 Cocoon bed sheets into it. It would be the diameter, the width, and the length. So just multiply those together, and you get the average delivery cost.
Is there a way to create a revenue stream that's a membership?
So through our website, we do offer our loyalty program, which is basically you'll get more benefits if you are a recurring customer and you're very loyal again to our company. Another way we can revenue is something definitely we have to think about in the future, especially once we become bigger and we need, or just generally just to start up. So one of the ways that we can revenue is through that program, and we do so offering those special deals and get more customer interaction, is hopefully they'll be more inclined to visit our website, view our products,
and hopefully end up purchasing something.
One more question. How do you plan to protect your design? Is it patentable? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, of course. So we do definitely plan on getting a patent just because of since we want to add, the patent will ultimately add just extra value to our company that will differentiate us from the rest of the products in the sheet industry, which is quite large, so we need to make a way that makes us stand out. So not only do we have our zipper and our stitched bottoms to connect the two sheets, but we believe that through a patent we'll be able to become more valuable to in the sheet industry, and that a lot of manufacturers will be able to look at us and see that we're such a unique design that they're going to want to have them in their stores.
Just one more point. I also.
Wait, Chuck, I'll cut you off.
I know. I'm also thinking about, this might be a nice idea to promote for the elderly as well. You know, I feel like there's someone in my family that actually has done this for that same reason. And on his own sort of stitched, you know, the sheet to the, so that's something to think about too. As people get older, they get, you know, colder and might want to kind of feel a little bit more snug all night long.
Thank you, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Last question, the 25,000, how would you use it?
So we're planning on using the 25,000 mainly on a way that's going to benefit customers who use our sheets. So that's going to go into more high technology into benefiting our sheets. So far we are hypoallergenic, but we're looking at if we can get the 25,000, then we can put this money towards creating sheets that add an extra benefit to the customers that not only just protect their skin like the hypoallergenic will do, but other skin benefits and other benefits that will help the customers sleep tight and emerge bright, which is basically the purpose of our company. And then it'll also go through, it'll also go through packaging and all of that stuff to just make also a product design that is more welcoming to a customer's eye and something that they want to see.
Love your logo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're down to our final group, and the final group offers an interesting way to make home renovation easier without cutting corners. I present PaintPen.
I can't reach these corners with this huge paintbrush.
However, can we get into this nitty-gritty details with this gem brush?
Do you hear that? Where is it coming from?
You guys look like you need one of these.
Oh, what is this?
It's the PaintPen, a painting tool that can paint, erase, and scrape those small details you normally miss with a paintbrush.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Hi Sharks, my name is John. This is Claire, Shreya, and Jason, and we are the founders of the PaintPen, the most compact, cohesive, and convenient painting tool on the market. Today we are seeking $25,000 in order to fund the marketing plan and manufacturing of our product.
Have you guys ever painted the walls of your own living space? If so, you probably struggled with reaching the crowning corners and outlets and getting around those swim areas. We took a student survey and we found out the #1 complaint people had with painting their walls was inaccuracy. Well, with the groundbreaking technology of the PaintPen, you can fill and erase your mistakes with just stroke the pen.
With the paint pen, you simply take off the eraser cap, fill the stick with the paint of your choice, like what color you like, and close the cap and scrape. If something goes wrong with that, you can simply scrape off the dread paint with the other side, like our eraser side. So there's always like a eraser cap just in case. So using our paint pen makes amateur painters look more professionals.
Yeah, the different tips ensure that every nook and cranny of our consumers' products will be covered. The main goal of our company is to ensure that anyone can paint by excluding the need for our consumers to buy a plethora of painting materials and tools, whereas our product uses a combination of them to, again, ensure that anyone can paint. And with the help of your investment, we can make our product a household name. So, Sharks, are you ready?
Are you ready to stop cutting corners and start painting them?
Well, I guess I'll start. Being in the industry, so I look at that as an interesting concept, but have you looked at, okay, how reusable is this product and how do you clean it? So if you have to use different, you have to buy 20 different paint pencils, or how do you clean it? That whole process.
Yeah, so when we give you the product, like the pen, it'll come with a cleaner, which looks like similar to like the size of like it's like you know when you clean like your water bottle like straws with, like those, and it'll clean the insides of your cartridges, and it just comes with it, so you're able to reuse the tubes.
How do you get the paint in the pen?
Carefully.
So the product will also come with a pipette. Do you know what that is?
Like a funnel?
Yeah, and you squeeze it. You squeeze the funnel, and then the paint is extracted into the funnel, and then you can put it into the pen.
Okay. And this is, you're mostly focusing on cutting the edges.
Yeah, the details in paint products. With the wall example we have over here, there's a little bracket that runs through the wall, and like that normally in a painting project would be a different shade than like the actual wall. So in order to make sure that the painters don't hit that with the roller or those big wall brushes, they use our product to get into the small details.
To add on to what he was saying, with our paint pen, it has very fine tips, but also larger tips. So the amount of detail is pretty much up to the consumer. And yeah.
It also allows for us to reach a more broad variety of customers, because our product isn't only for home renovation. It can be used on like an actual painting or whatever the consumer may need it for.
Where do you think that you would have more success with painters doing an actual painting of canvas, or would your market, be more geared towards the home project or do-it-yourselves?
So basically, we originally made this for like homeowners and home renovators, but depending on like our customer feedback, we feel like we'll just gear it towards whatever area of painting that the customer would like. But I feel that this is really helpful for people who want to reach into like little crownings or like corners, and I feel like that's like where we mostly help customers.
And to add on to that, the product was originally made because we have struggled with getting those nooks and crannies, but we plan on doing other marketing events to promote our product and show people that it can be used in any variety or any way that they want.
Is this meant to compete with, say, frog tape or something, so you don't have to use frog tape? Do you know what frog tape is?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, like painting tape to make sure you don't hit an outlet or something, or something you don't want.
Yeah, so our product basically prevents you from needing to buy frog tape because it'll just reach in the corners without you having to like worry about the like excess paint getting onto the frog tape or like getting onto like the places you don't want having the paint.
And we also noticed that 85%, over 85% of our surveyed people, of over 100 people, have painted in their house. And a common problem among at least us was that we noticed when we use Gorilla Glue, or Gorilla Tape, sorry, or Frog Tape, there's always those little like specks of paint that follow the line of where the tape is, so it looks a little bit tacky. So our emphasis here with the paint pen is that it really makes it look like a professional painted instead of an amateur.
I also think one thing that you could think about is not only during the painting process, but for touch-up would be, I think, very a valuable thing to think about. You know, because you paint it, it looks beautiful, but I have 2 boys in my house, so there's a lot of touch-up. So you'd be able to kind of, is there a way that, so if the paint stays in that pen, does it stay fresh so that you could just easily pull it out and do a touch-up, or would you have to kind of?
So we're actually investing in a type of plastic that keeps it so the paint is fresh, similar to how a paint bucket's like metal keeps it fresh. And we're going to use that through 3D printing and other methods to make sure that paint stays in that area. So if you have a scrape a year from now, it'll still be as fresh as it was hopefully a year before.
The eraser, is that some sort of special eraser, special material?
No, it's the same kind of design as a tip, but instead of having to, it's paint remover, but it comes in a cartridge rather than having to fill the eraser with the paint remover.
Yeah, and to add on to what he was saying, the tip is like this like felt fabric material that absorbs this paint remover that you can use just on like fine areas where you want to remove like specks of paint.
I also wanted to emphasize that a lot of people find smaller paintbrushes easier, but because we have different scrapers and different heads that you can put on, there's really no need for any smaller type of thing, especially when it comes to small like scrapes, bumps, or anything like that that affects your walls.
Do you have a prototype? Do you have a?
No, we do not.
We have a sketch.
Okay. Okay. So is it about the size of a pen or a marker or?
Yeah, so we want to emphasize that it's as easy to do as drawing on paper, and because you can do it on canvas, it really is. So yes, it's probably the size of a bigger pen, because we do want to fit as much paint in there as possible, but yes.
And to add on to that, our pens also come in like different sizes. So there's a small, there's a medium, and there's a large. And like as he said, it is like the size of like a bigger pen. But as the sizes go, it gets larger.
I think that if you could bring this product to life, I think it could be very, very useful. I think my only recommendation would be that you really figure out who your target market is going to be, because right now you're at this range and you really want to narrow it down to, and I think that there's options there. It could be the painter, it could be the touch-ups, but it's going to be important to figure out who you're going to market to right off the bat.
So our target market have 2 fields. One is for decoration, like we can contact with some decoration company, and one field is for art. So that's why we design like different sizes of paint pen. Because like the larger size is mostly for decoration, paint walls. And there's some art called wall art, like wall painting. So someone needs a tools to paint the walls. But we did a research. There are no such like convenient tools can paint walls like cover on the details or have a double side. So, and we plan to like find some artists and influencer and let them to use our tools to do some art and share their art to the like social media to like, yeah, this way to do advertisement.
Or can I say that there are other tools, except they have to get the brush and they have to get this and they have to get, so they're all, and this is just conveniently placed in your hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna, I think if you have your best luck in your Home Depot, in your Ace Hardware, because if the homeowner that's painting is not a professional, and it's right there when they're picking up their paint and everything else, then I think that's a slam dunk. I would definitely purchase it.
Yeah, in our survey, actually, 50% of people said that they got their painting goods from Home Depot. So we're really focused on marketing. We want to do a lot of advertising within Home Depot, Lowe's, JC Moore, other places like that. And we're also actually planning an event in the Boston Common where we're going to hand out t-shirts, different surveys, and just see what our target market really is and see where else we can advertise and sell our product.
Good job.
Thank you.
iMechanic. Next, we have Towelz. Audio Study. Avalanche. DishStar. Cocoon. And last but not least, PaintPen. Scan the code and vote for the group you think deserves to win while the Sharks choose who they believe is most deserving of their $25,000 investment. They'll be back in just a few minutes with their results.
Sis, do you mind if I say? Do you mind if I'm right here? Yeah.
Guys, you did an amazing job. Very excited to hear about all the products. I think everything that was mentioned tonight is feasible, but I can only pick one, right? So this particular group, I think you guys hit on so many marks. But really, as an investor, one of the things I was looking at was definitely the margins, right? And I think that this particular product is feasible and has great margins. So for that reason, I'm picking Avalanche.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I think they all deserve round of applause. To work together as a group and to put a presentation together and then actually do it live is a big deal. So you guys should all be proud of yourselves. I think you all did a great job. I think sometimes it comes down to what, what will work best in your own life, in my own life, and being a designer. I think that this idea is a great idea and could really be pretty big. So my choice would be the PaintPen.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Well, they put me on last because they want to speak the least, so I'm going to surprise them. I'll talk as much as I want. You all did great. I know it's a big effort to coordinate this, to come up with the idea, to work together, and to present to a team, and to present to the public. Again, I want to congratulate all of you for all your efforts here. You bring hope to me that there's a bright future for all of you, a bright future for all the students at Central, so thank you. I had to choose one, and I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with DishStar.
Awesome job, everybody. You did an amazing job. I couldn't have been happier with your performance tonight. So I want to close the show by revealing the winner of the audience vote. With 62% of the vote, the audience chose DishStar. Unfortunately, they didn't make medals for the audience vote, but they get a bonus medal if they could. So awesome job, DishStar. And I want to congratulate the 3 groups that won, but also the other 5 groups. You were all amazing tonight. I couldn't have been happier with your performance. I know I was really stressed the last couple weeks, and you were too, but you did incredible. So seriously, round of applause for that. Since I missed it before, I want to give another shout out to Dave Irwin for helping out the security desk, checking everybody in. And also, what's up, Dave? And also to Rocco Beltrandi, who's been filming the whole night. And also Rocco came to me and volunteered to do this tonight, and I didn't even have to ask him. He said he would film it, he would record it, and do a documentary style film, so I can't wait to see it after it's done. Thank you so much, Rocco.
Rocco Films!
And last but not least, obviously I have to give the 3 Sharks one more round of applause because they were incredible tonight. And thank you to all of you. You were incredibly wonderful and supportive, and I appreciate your applause for all the groups. Again, it was so nerve-wracking. The kids did a great job, and you supported them. So thank you so much for coming, and have a great night.